Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for abs, thighs, and glutes. My name is Audra, and today we're going to use one of the balls. If you don't have one at home, that's okay. You can always grab a couple pillows, fold them, just give yourself a little bit of a prop. And as always, if something doesn't feel right in your body, don't do it. Feel free to opt out, take breaks, whatever you need. And we're going to begin in a seated position. Go ahead and take the ball and pop it between your knees. Okay. And using the backs of your thighs, draw your shoulders down your back and just kind of sit upright and see where you are, right? Squeeze the ball gently, and on your exhale, curl your tailbone towards your face, straightening your arms. Inhale here, exhale, roll forward and restack. Good. And a few more. As you do this, check in with where your tailbone is when you roll forward and then stack. So the reason I want you to check in with your tailbone is if you are still sitting behind your tailbone and then you try to sit up, it's a lot of effort, right? So if you rock onto your sits bones, it'll be a little bit easier to sit up nice and tall. Now, if doing this with your arms is too easy, you can always reach your arms forward, curl back just behind your tailbone, inhale, exhale, dive forward, and then restack. Good. Just a couple more. Curl, allowing your spine to round as you roll, but without compressing, right? So think of an uppercase C shape. Good. Last two. And feel free to press your feet into the ground here to find just a little bit of that connection. Good. And then one more. Hold it back. Yeah, and just see how you feel. Squeeze the ball. How are you guys doing? When you're ready, bring your arms overhead and then forward. Good. Exhale, draw deep from your abdominals to allow those arms to come up. Good. Now, if you need to, you can always hold on to the backs of your thighs and either lift one arm at a time, or you can still hold on and then lift. Good. Give me three more. Good. As those arms lift, try to keep your neck nice and long and your ribs integrated. Yeah, that tremble's so good, right? I know I said three, but I lied. We're doing one more. Hold, hold, and then dive forward. Come all the way back. Yeah. And we roll back again. This time a little bit farther. Yeah. I like how this entire row back here was just like staring. I saw you, Sean. And then you can hold that, inhale, curl forward. Yeah. So same thing, we've just gone farther, right? Everybody okay? Everyone's just like, oh, we're just moving. You don't have to hold it for long. It is. Yeah. Means you've only been through half the week. Yeah. Good. Two more, you guys. And if you need a break, of course, take one. It's fine. Last one like this. Then we get to do something else fun. Good. Now, as you've been moving, if you start feeling your hips start to overwork, think about curling more and feel free to use the backs of your legs. We're going again. This time we're going to press down into our knees first. So try to find the connection between your lats, your serratus, and your obliques. Just press down. See if you can find a little bit of ab. Yeah, good. And then curl back, good. Now this time we're going past the sacrum, just letting one vertebra lay down, the other one, another one, until you can slowly bring your head down. Imagine you have a 20-pound weight in your hands and you're going to support your shoulders from your core as that arm goes overhead, resisting gravity. Arm comes back, curl, And bring the weight forward. Yes. And again, you can always press down to get that extra ab recruitment as we slide back. Good. Good. Imagine you have that heavy weight. You want to resist gravity. Good. Keeping those ribs gently integrated. And then curl forward, trying to peel. Yeah. Constantly. So the way I like to do the breath here is inhale to prepare. Exhale on the way down, because it's a little bit easier to connect with your core as you exhale. Lie down here, inhale. Exhale as those arms come overhead. Inhale as your hands come back. Exhale as you roll up. But honestly, as long as you're breathing, I'm happy. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. One more like this. Exhale, roll the way down. Allow those hands to come overhead, resisting gravity on that exhale. Inhale to bring the hands back. Exhale. Good. Nice job, everybody. Now we get to lie back without holding the position, and you're going to slide your feet back. So we're not holding like that C-shaped position. Make sure your toes are pointed forward. Good. And try to find a neutral pelvis. So where your knees, where your hip bones and pubic bone are on the same plane, knees are at the sky, toes are forward. Exhale, hug your ribs and hip bones together towards your midline. And then relax. So all we're doing right now is just finding our abs without movement. So as you inhale, inhale wide. As you exhale, hug everything together. One of the cool things about Pilates, or movement in general for that matter, inhale wide, is if you can engage your muscles first, then you don't have to rely on the move to get you the work, right? You can just get the work from your body and then add the move. On your next one, hug everything together, pulling your hips and ribs towards your midline, and then imprint your spine. So pull your hip bones towards your face, melting your low back to the ground, and then rock your hip bones away from your face a little bit, back to neutral. Exhale. And then back. A couple more here. So making sure that we're shortening the distance between the hips and the ribs without slamming the back down, right? We want to lengthen the spine towards the ground. Lengthening through your hips. Hold this last imprint. Now on your next exhale, try to deepen your imprint a little bit, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, until maybe your buns are starting to hover off the ground, and then press down into your big toe mound to come into your bridge. At the top of your bridge, check in, make sure your weight's not on your neck, but is on your shoulders, and then press your hands down into the ground a little bit to get a little bit of tricep on. And maybe you lift a little higher. On your exhale, melt through your throat, your sternum, your low back, your sacrum, and find that engagement, deepen, imprint, and then press into your big toe mound, peeling your spine up. Now, sometimes if we feel low back tension, we could either be arching or we're squeezing our butt too hard at the top. So think more about the underbutt than the top of it, right? And then melt, letting those glutes relax a little so your abs have to do more. Last one like this. Pressing into your toes. And then melt all the way down. Drop the ball like an egg and put one foot on top of it. You can bring it back in line. Now, press down into your heel without pushing the ball away, and then press into the toe, still kind of dragging the ball towards you. And press into your heel and into the toe. Now, if for any reason this doesn't feel good in your ankle or your knee, you don't have to do it. Otherwise, we're pressing down into that full foot, come into a bridge. Yep. And then lift your opposite heel. That's it. Press that heel down. So lifting one heel, pressing the heel down. How's that hamstring doing, everybody? Excited, right? Now, if you want more excitement in your life, lift the heel, then float the leg to tabletop. Yeah, and then press it back down. And then lift the heel, inhale. Exhale, you can maybe float the leg just a fraction of the inch even. You guys are last one on this side and melt all the way down. All right, hands behind your head. Spiral. Oh, I'm not surprised. I just think you guys are hilarious. Spiral your elbows forward, shoulder blades draw down your back, curl into your chest lift. Yeah. Yeah. And then, but don't worry, this one's not going to be as mean. We're going to curl forward and hold. Reach your fingertips forward, push into an imaginary surface, and then your hands can come back behind your head. On your exhale, push the ball away from you, reaching it far away, and then drive your heel down to drag it back. So we're thinking of pushing the foot as far away from you as possible. It's going to leverage you up a little, and then on the way in, you get that hamstring connection again, but not at 120%, right? Yeah. Now, as you push the ball away, when you get to your end range, think about maybe taking 1/4 pound of weight off the ball only, yeah, and then press it down. Now, if you'd like more challenge, your other leg can be at tabletop. Good. And if you'd like even more challenge, that leg can be extended. So it's like a hundreds position that you find, and then bring it back. We have 4. Good. That extended leg, it's still being pushed away rather than just held with the front of the hip. Good. Last one. Roll the ball in, head comes down. Nice job, you guys. We're just gonna switch feet. Yeah, just switch feet. And just press in with your heel. And then press in with your toe. And then press in just with your heel. So we're just rocking the ankle back and forth a couple times to see where the effort translates, right? So think about your hamstring and your glute and notice where you feel when you're pressing just the heel down versus when you're pushing the toes down, right? It should potentially activate slightly different muscles. And then this time we're pushing the whole foot, toe and heel, coming into that bridge and hold. Now maybe you lift your heel off the like heel that's on the ground, and then you bring it down. Yeah, and maybe this is enough hamstring. Maybe it's not, in which case you can float the leg up and then press it down. Think of the sits bones reaching away from you. If you need a break in between, take one. Use your breath. Okay. We have 3 more. Anybody not feeling their hamstring here? Great. 2. Last one. And then come all the way down. Bring those hands back behind your head. Curl up. And we push the ball away. Reach it so far away that it's almost trying to pull you up. And then drive the heel down to bring it back. Good. How's that feeling, everybody? Great. Good. Good. Couple more. Exhale, extend the leg. Good. Now, if you'd like, you bring your other leg to tabletop if you want more excitement. If you would like even more excitement, you push that leg and then you reach the other one. So once again, you're more in that hundreds position. Good. Trying not to hyperextend through the knee, no matter how much nicer it is. Good. We have 4. Good. 3. Curling high, looking at your toes. 2 more. Good. Last one, last one. And bring everything in and down. Nice job. You can take that ball and bring it into your hands. Now bring one leg to tabletop and bring it a little bit past 90 degrees. And then without really moving it away from you, imagine pushing your foot into a wall so the back line of your leg kicks on. Now we're using the heel of our hands here to press into that knee. Think about spiraling that arm bone. Yeah, everybody feel their core kick on just a little bit? Great. And then step that foot down, other side. Come past neutral, press just a little bit, use the heel of the hands. Good. Now, you can go back and forth in this march, or you can bring both legs to tabletop, press into one, tap one toe down. Inhale, exhale, bring the leg back and tap the other one. Now, maybe you'd like more challenge, which great. In that case, reach the leg away from you. And if you'd still like more challenge, come into a chest lift, and we're going to switch arms as well. So one hand can be behind your head for support if you need it. And then switch. When you switch knees, switch hands. Yeah. Good. Couple more here. Yeah. Switch hands when you switch legs. Yeah. So it's same side, arm as leg. One more each side. And then we're going to set the prop to the side, head comes down. Feet down for a second, sway your knees to one side. Take that opposite arm, reach it away from you, and you can look at that hand. Exhale, drag your ribs back, other side. Bring it back to center. All right, we're gonna explore some movement. Should be a good time. Both hands behind your head, curl into your chest lift. Good. Bring one leg at a time to the tabletop. Now, if you're down pretty low and you can feel your whole shoulder blades, or you notice that you're pulling on your neck to get there, hands will come behind your thighs to help lift you up, and then you try to hold that position. Push one leg away, rotate to the opposite leg, hold. Now, if you can, rock onto your side. Yeah. Rock the hips back. Hold, yeah. Good. Switch sides. Hold. Roll onto your side. Yeah. And you're doing it. First one never counts. Now, if you're like, this is just a little too much, you can Bring one foot on the ground, extend the other leg, push into the ground to help you rotate, okay? That's completely an option. And I'll show it in this direction too. So, Sean, if you need to, extend one leg. Yeah, and then keep the foot on the ground to rotate. Yeah, there you go. And then back. Good. Another side. Good. And of course, breaks are great if you need them. Yeah. So you've got all the options. Couple more. And back and switch. Nice job, you guys. Everybody got one more each side? I'll take that as a yeah. Good. And last one. Good. Now we're going to hold. First side, switch legs only. Hold. Hold that rotation, switch your legs. Hold the rotation, switch your legs. Yeah. If you need to, you tap them on the ground. 2. You guys okay? Yeah, and switch everything. Hold. Now hold your rotation, just switch your legs. Hold your rotation, just switch your legs. Taking breaks are great. Good, we have a couple more. 2. Now hold. Switch everything. Hold the legs where they are. Switch only your upper body. Hold the legs where you are. Only switch your upper body. Good. Can you put your foot on the ground? Yeah. Just. I don't know what is happening today. Keep your hips on the ground. Just switch your upper body. Both hips on the ground. Just switch your upper body. Both hips on the ground. Now just switch everything. This is the last set like this, you guys. Hold your knees and legs still. Just switch the upper body. Good. Yeah, you're doing great. You're all doing amazing. You're all champions. You're phenomenal. 2 more. Last set. Hey, guess what? Hug your knees in and relax. I mean, you guys did great. All right. Now, go ahead. You guys will be thinking about me every day. Take those arms out to the side in a goal post or T position. Close your ribs. Bring one leg at a time to tabletop. Squeeze your inner thighs together like you're trying to pop a balloon. Now, keeping like those knees together, like you've got a precious little bug in between your knees that you don't want to drop. Let one hip lower, the other hip lifts. Hold. Inhale wide. Exhale, drag your ribs back and come back to center. Other side. Up and over. Hold. And exhale, drag it back. Now, if for any reason this is too much work, bring your feet to the ground. You can do the exact same thing, just without having to hold your legs in that tabletop position. If you're in between feet on the ground and tabletop, drop your heels down a little bit and bring your knees in a fraction. If you're like, this is too easy, great. You can hold, keep that shoulder down, extend your legs, and then drag them back. And then bend. And then up and over. And then extend. But that's only an option, right? All of these are options. You see where you are. And then back. Good. Couple more, extend. One day I'm just gonna take a recording of all the sounds you guys make. And extend and back. Last one. Good. Hug those knees in. So did you guys feel your obliques a little bit on that last one? Great. That one's kind of a challenging one to find sometimes. So I'm really proud of all of you. All right. We're going to bring your feet to the ground, bring your hands to your hip bones, and just use your hands as a guide as we imprint our spine, and then come back to neutral. 2 more like that, just reminding your body what its imprint is. Now, if it's appropriate for your body, bring one leg to tabletop, keep it at tabletop as you imprint, and come back to neutral. Yeah, just a couple like this. Imagine that foot still being against something, and then switch feet. One foot down, other foot at tabletop, imprint, neutral. This should feel pretty easy, at least in comparison to what we just did. Now, if you want to stick with those, stick with those. Otherwise, bring both legs up and make sure that it's not being pulled from the hip joint. We're actually trying to create the movement from our imprint. So neutral spine, inhale, exhale, imprint, and maybe press slightly into the ground with your hands, back to center. So we're just lifting our hips a little. Inhale, exhale, imprint, and back. Now, maybe this is where you are, which is great, right? If you'd like to up level it, hands come behind your head, you can come into a chest lift. Curl, try to get knees and elbows together, and then back. Trying not to lower your chest though, yeah. And curl, hold, yeah. Couple more. Now, we have options. If you are elevated and your knees and elbows are coming together, you're going to hold for a second, take one elbow off, bring it back, other elbow, and then down. Good, so you bring them together, pressing your elbows into your knees, one at a time. If you're like, I'm not there, that's okay. You can keep your head down, press your hands into your knees, take one off, other one off. You should feel your obliques kicking in different ways with both of these. So one isn't necessarily better than the other, they're just both different, right? So experiment with both, see what works best for you. Some days, head down, hands on the knees is harder for me. Some days, being in that chest lift is harder. So you do what feels best for your body today. Last one. And then come all the way down. Nice. Now you know what your imprint is supposed to feel like. Let's extend those legs away from ourselves and imprint our spine, making sure that we can. If not, bend your knees a hair. All right. Now, hands come up, let them come overhead, and we curl forward, doing regular roll-ups. Yeah. These should feel really easy after the ones we started with, right? Yeah, so think about being like a ball of moss rolling down a hill, right? And we're gonna roll all the way down that delightful hill and rolling up the hill because we're moss, we can do whatever we want. Yeah, good. Yeah. Good. Couple more. Yeah. Now, if this is where you are, great. If you're like, man, I could use a little assistance, also great. You can always use a leg to help you, whatever you want. If you are like, you know what? I love teaser. Teaser is my favorite thing And that's what I really want to do. Well, we can do that as long as you're not pulling from your back, right? You're going to squeeze those inner thighs together, right? You're going to think about pushing your feet away from you and just taking like 1 pound of effort out of your legs. And then we push them away on the way down. Yeah. Yeah, you did it. Feel free to bend your knees, right? If the thing that's keeping you from this is hamstring flexibility, bend your knees, right? Yeah. If the thing that's keeping you from doing this is not wanting to do it, keep doing roll-ups, right? That's okay. 2 more. Good. Last one, we get to hold it up. Yeah. If you're in teaser, feel free to bend your knees. Yeah. If you're like, I can't do teaser, man, feel free to put your feet on the floor. Yeah. If you really love extended leg teaser, that's fine too. Let go with 1 hand. And then back. And if you accidentally smack your neighbor, introduce yourself, even if it's after class, that's fine. This is fine. Feel how your body wants to kind of change its position slightly, right? Like, yeah, good save. You've done rolling like a ball before, haven't you? Last one. And then feet together, knees apart, and relax over your legs. Yes. Now go ahead. We're actually going to come on to all fours. And we have this lovely prop, which you don't have to keep using, but if you're excited to, great. You can make it kind of flat and place it on the small of your back. Now, everybody's proportions are different. And I, for example, have short little T-Rex arms, so I'm pretty parallel. If my arms were very, very long, it might put me at a different angle. That's hard to keep the ball on, okay? It's more just for information. So find that hug of your abs, slide 1 foot out, push it into the floor, and then fold, and then other side. And it just tells you what your strategy is, right? So maybe your strategy is accidentally dropping your hip. You find that out because the ball moves, right? Maybe your strategy is rounding your back or shifting to one side. The ball just gives you information, right? Now, if this is where you are, fantastic, stay there. If you would like to come into front support, slide 1 foot out, press it into the ground, other foot comes to meet it, and then you bend 1 knee underneath you, reach it back. If this does not feel good on your wrists, you can always come onto fists or forearms, or just make sure you're pushing a little bit more with your pointer finger. Couple more. Last one, each side, knees down. Press yourself into a rest position. Yeah, rolling out your wrists. Take your hands up and over to one side. Push your hips away. And then other side. Good. Making a little rainbow shape with your spine. And come back to center. We're going to come onto our forearms. But if for any reason, no more ball. Yeah, good question. I mean, unless you want the hardest side planks in the world. But okay, so we're going to come onto our forearms. And Nancy, you can always come onto your hands. It's fine. Widen your feet slightly. Yeah. Lift up into that beautiful forearm plank. Yeah. Now, keep your ankles nice and strong. Let your hips rotate so your feet can kind of turn. And then back to center. Let your heels turn. Good. Now, if you're ready, your whole body can come with you. Okay. Still pushing the floor away. Yeah. Now, if you want to be on your knees, is that okay? Yeah, absolutely. Still just close your ribs, belly button up. Yeah, good. Now, imagine I'm standing right in front of you and I'm like, yo, give me a high five. Bring your arms slightly forward to high five imaginary Audra. Yeah. And see how that, yeah, affects your plank, right? It's probably easier if your arm isn't going behind you. One more, each side. And if you need a break, take one. It's all fine. Come all the way down. Good. Now, you might notice I'm still on my forearms, but my hips are down. And it's like kind of a little tiny half cobra. I'm going to push my elbows into the ground. I'm going to stay on my knees, and I'm just going to use my abdominal muscles to lift my hips off the ground, coming into a knee plank on my forearms. Yeah, keep lifting the belly button even more, and then slowly extend. Good. Inhale. Exhale, abs to help you. Yeah. Good. Shoulders out of your ears, and then back. Good. Just two more like this. Only go into a range that feels good on your back. Sean, tuck your tailbone a little. Yeah. Yep. And lift. Last one. And then if you want, you can go into a full plank. If you don't want, that's fine too. You can hang out in that knee plank for 4, 3, 2, knees down. Press yourselves into your rest position. You guys did so good on those. Hey, want to get your glutes active? Sound good? Great. We're going to take the ball and use it as our pillow. Yay, we're going to lounge. Now, nobody believes me that we're just going to, I saw those looks, you guys. All right, so with this first one, just kind of let your spine or your ribs just kind of sink into the mat for a second and notice what that does to your hip. It probably let it pull towards your face. Now, if you're already in this position, you can push that hip away forever and it's still kind of challenging. So first, use your obliques. I know you found them, to lift the bottom ribs just ever so slightly off the mat, as if I wanted to slide a sheet of paper underneath you. Now take that top hip, lengthen it away from your face a little bit. Good. Now, go ahead, keep your heels together, lift your feet without letting that hip come up. Good. Squeeze your heels together, rotate, spiraling that thigh bone in the socket, hold, hold, and just see where you're feeling this. Hopefully it's the back corner of your hip, not the front corner. And slowly let that knee come down as if I'm trying to push it down, and you're going to let me, but with a little resistance. Spiral and hold. And then slowly lower. And exhale, rotate. Good. How's that feeling, everybody? Yeah, so good? Yeah. Give me just a few more. Trying to find that glute medius to help you with that rotation. 2. Good, relaxing your top shoulder. Last one, hold. Now keep your knee where it is. Lift the foot. Keep the knee where it is, lower the foot. Yeah, keep the knee where it is, lift the foot. Keep the knee where it is, lower the foot. Yeah. Notice you're getting external rotation still, but in a different way. Should potentially be using the muscles a little differently, yeah? Yeah, we got 3. Anybody not feeling their glute? Okay, 2. Last 1. Now this time, lower that knee, Hold right where it is. Other foot comes down. Flex your foot. Look where your heel is pointing. You're going to push your heel right towards where it was pointing. And then let it fold in, internally rotating. And then push it away. Good. And let it fold in. Now, as you push your foot away, let it leverage you up just a little bit. Now, if you tend to hyperextend your knee, as you push your foot away, try to go into a tiny bit of hip extension before knee extension, and then suction cup your kneecap up your leg, and then in. Good. How's everybody doing? Relax your faces and keep breathing. 3 more. And fold. 2 more. Last one. Hold it out. And we're just going to paintbrush up and the wall, squeegee it down. Yeah. Paintbrush the foot up, and you can always lift that arm if you want. And then you can bring it down. It just adds a little bit of stability challenge, because we're trying not to let the ribs move. The arm moving, it's just an added bonus. You can always keep it down. You can also always keep it as a guide for that hip. Nancy, keep your hip bone rotating forward. Thank you. Push your foot away from you just a little bit, Stephanie. Yeah. Last one. Good job. Now we're not done with this glute, but we are going to get a little bit more of the back of it. So a little bit more glute max as opposed to just glute medius. So first, imagine that your heel is touching a wall. And you're just going to push your heel into the wall and then relax. So if I am actually against a wall, right? I'm going to stop our music apparently. We're just going to, it's the exact same thing. It's not that much difference in the movement itself, right? I'm just pushing into an imaginary surface. Good. 2 more. 2. Last one. Now, rotate away from that leg. Good. Yep. And then push it back behind you. It's probably going to move. So push it back, 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 back. So allowing that movement to happen. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, and then circle the thigh bone in the socket. Think of dragging it back from the glute. 4, 3, and then reverse the circle. 5. Think about that inner thigh helping you too. 4, 3, almost there. And relax the leg. Nice job, you guys. Go ahead, turn onto your back for a second and give yourself a figure 4 stretch. So you can flex your ankle, point your toe. You can even bring that leg up if it's appropriate. Yeah, and breathe. Good. Don't know why this is saying it's playing, but then it's not playing. Good. 2 more breaths. And then we get to do the other side, you guys. You excited? Yeah, okay. So I know this is a weird thing to get excited about, but your piriformis muscle, you guys, it attaches your greater trochanter to your sacrum. It's kind of cool. It is universally recognized as a hip external rotator, but because of the way it is attached, when you bring it up past a certain angle, it actually becomes an internal rotator, which is why this is still technically a piriformis stretch, even though it's an external rotator. So now you know. We're gonna lengthen that hip, lift your ribs, lift both knees without letting that hip dump forward. All right, spiral that thigh bone in the socket, trying to rotate that top hip forward. Good, and then slowly lower. Gorgeous, everyone. We're gonna hold. Nancy, stick your butt out. There you go. Good. Slowly lower. Good, we have 4. 3 more. Almost there. Still trying to keep that hip lengthening away from your face. Last one. And we hold that knee there. Now let the foot come up. So it's more like an abduction position. Keep the knee right where it is. Let the foot come down. Nancy, keep your knee right where it is. Rotate the foot down. Yeah, there you go. How'd that feel? More exciting? Yeah. Everybody feel how that rotation occurs with the foot coming down, even if you had trouble feeling it with the knee coming up? Good. We have just a few more. Two. Last one. Good. Bring the foot down, rotate the knee down, hold that position, flex your foot, drop the other foot. Look at where your heel is pointing. That is the line we are tracing, taking that leg away from us, pushing it far, far away, so far that maybe it helps us lift the ribs. And then the leg folds in. Good. Pushing away. And reach. Good, give me just a few more. How's this side feeling, everybody? So good? Yeah. We have 4, reach. Imagine that you are a tension rod, right? Like a shower curtain rod. And that tension is through that heel, that leg, that glute, those abs. One of the cool things about your core is it transfers force from your upper and lower body. Reach it away, away, away. And we can press it up a tiny bit and then squeegee it down. And then paintbrush it up that imaginary wall and then squeegee it down. Now, as we do this, if that hip hikes, that's getting your QL and possibly that TFL, right? So that's why we're still thinking of pushing the foot away, still trying to keep the hip relatively still. We have 4, 3 more. Good. Almost there. Last one. Now bring it to center. Imagine your heels against a wall and you're just gonna push into that wall. And then relax, and then drive it into the wall. Good. Just a few more. 4, 3, how's everybody feeling? So good? 2, last one, hold it back, we rotate away from the leg. And then press back. This time, the foot's gonna move a little bit more. You might also feel a little bit more of that inner thigh. Here, 5. And then come into a circle, tiny little circle, spiraling with the thigh bones. We have 4, 3, and reverse your circle. 3, 2, 1. Yes, come into your figure 4, stretch you guys. Yeah. And if you're in a really deep stretch and you're having trouble feeling it, see if you can feel your whole tailbone root into the ground. That'll give you a little bit more stretch. Yeah. And breathe. and 2. Last one. Go ahead and come all the way back down onto your back. Now, we're gonna extend one leg. Don't worry. We're gonna bring the other one in a little bit. Hug that knee towards your chest, just a hair. Good. Now hands can interlace behind your thigh. We're gonna extend your leg. And then bend. Now this time, extend and then flex your foot. Did your foot sneak farther away from you, or was it okay? Bend. Point and straighten. Bend, flex, and straighten. Yeah, now just kind of see where the tension is the most. Yeah. Hands behind your head, come into a chest lift. Good. Yeah. Now hands can come behind your thigh. Push your thigh or calf into your hands just a little bit. And then exhale, stop pressing. Let the leg come in just ever so close to your face. Doesn't have to be as far as mine goes. Then use your abs to keep it there. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Use your hands again. Push your leg into your hands. Stop pressing your leg into your hands. Let your leg come a tiny bit closer to your face, and then use your abs to keep it there. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down, other side. It's sneaky, isn't it? Slide that other leg out, hug the knee towards you. Just point your toe, see where you go as you extend. And then this time, you what? Uh-huh. And then point. And this time, you can flex. Yeah, and just see what's the most tense. And then come into your chest lift. Good. And then your hands can either be behind your calf or your thigh. You're gonna push into your hands. Inhale, exhale, just stop pressing. Notice how maybe your leg comes a little closer, and then you're gonna use your abs to keep it there. Good. Then hands back behind, press your hands or your leg into your hands. Stop pressing with the leg, see if it comes a little closer, and then see if you can use your abs to keep you there. Hands can come behind your head. Inhale, exhale, switch your legs. Good. And switch. Hey, guess what? If your knees need to bend a little, is that okay? Yeah. Good. See though, if you can use that same ab support to bring your legs in closer. And last 2. Last 1. Good. Hug those knees in towards your chest and gently rock from side to side. Nice job. Go ahead. Externally rotate through your upper thigh bone here. So we're coming into a Pilates V, but we're not initiating from our feet. Good. Hands can come by your side. Squeeze your heels together. Now imagine you're a mer person. You're gonna push your fin away from you, squeezing those inner thighs together, and then let it fold. Yeah, and then press out. If you've ever done reformer, this is frog on the reformer. Really try to get those inner thighs to help. 2. Last one, hold your mer fin out and then let it just come up towards the sky and then push it away. Your feet will start to lower, but they don't need to go that low. And then flex at the hip. 3. Almost there. You don't have to go down very far. And sometimes if I go down really far, I lose the most challenging part of the work. So here, for example, is much harder for me than here. Last one. Good. And then hug your knees in. We're going to come onto our stomachs for a moment. Don't worry, we're not coming into another plank. We're just coming onto our stomachs. Go ahead, support your head on your hands. Now, find your hip bones. Try not to keep them like as heavy. They're just grazing the ground. Now, push one foot away from you and maybe it starts to hover. Bring it down, other side. Good. If you feel one of your hips drop into the mat, don't lift as high. Now, if this feels good, you can bring both legs up and squeeze your heels together, squeeze them together. So it's a little clickety clack, like you're just kind of clapping your heels together from your inner thighs. 3, inner thighs should be, Carol, keep them together closer, and boom, 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 boom. Like you really like the show you just saw. Yeah, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. Now we can bring our hands forward, shoulder blades draw down the back. Just spiral your collarbones forward. Yeah, hello, hello. And we're gonna reach one arm, opposite leg, and then other side. Good, yeah. The other hand can push down into the ground to help you. Yeah, if you accidentally make eye contact with someone, try to reach for them like you're trying to grab their hand. And hello, and 2. Nice. Now, if this feels good and you'd like to swim, you can hover everything. If you want, you stick with what you were doing instead. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands down. Press yourself into a rest position. Take your hands to one side, make a little rainbow shape with your body. And then other side. And then we get to do a little bit of balance work. So come all the way to standing. Now, there are a million things we can do. And if this doesn't feel right, we have other things. So first, imagine you are walking a tightrope, right? Let your feet move a little bit. Now, if you're on the mat, it's way harder than if you're on the floor. Now, it's okay to be the willow tree. We don't have to be the oak tree. Now, if this feels good, feel free to close one or both eyes. And see how you feel. You can even do spirit fingers or jazz hands, right? Your first line of defense is to open your eyes. You can also move your arms if you need to, do little squiggle arms. Good. Couple more breaths. Good. And then we get to do the other side. Yeah. So a little tightrope. You can roll your feet in and out, feel them moving, lengthening through your ears. Breathe. Yeah. Now, if for any reason your body's like, this kind of balance work isn't working for me, root through both feet, and you can just look at your finger, which will still challenge your vestibular system. Couple breaths. And then back. Good. And then feet together. We're going to press our feet into the ground to get our glutes to activate. So I'm not necessarily trying to have you squeeze your butt. I want you to think of pressing down and everything else lifting up like we do in that plank. Yeah, good. Now, if it's appropriate, pull one foot up and just see what your body does, right? Maybe you kind of shift, maybe you hike. You know, if you can, just breathe. Allow your body to move if it needs to, but see what you can do to just minimize it slightly. Yeah, good. And then other side, if it's willing. So feet together, press down to lift up. and just see what your body says, right? Yeah. Very structurally sound. Good. Couple more breaths. That's not a compliment you thought you'd be getting today, but you're getting it. Good. 2 more breaths. Good, good. And then feet down. We're ending with a roll down. Nod your chin, hollow out through the front of your body, letting your arms dangle. Inhale. Exhale, curl and come all the way to standing. Good. Bring your palms to the sky. Open your collarbones, lifting your heart to the sky. And then come on down. Nice job, you guys. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you so much. You're all amazing.